What's up, everyone? It's JinxJGay here, currently ranked 22 on the North American ladder. There's been a lot of guides going around lately on particular builds. So today what I want to focus on instead is how to pivot. And this particular pivot, I like to call it the Nature's BF pivot. So let me tell you a little bit about Nature's BF. He has a very distinct play style where he never commits to a comp until he's hit a 4-cost carry. So sometimes he doesn't know what comp he's playing as late as stage 4-3. In this particular example we're going to be taking a look at today, it starts off as what looks like a Kale comp, but we do a full transition into Dark Stars. Let's take a look. As you can see, this is on my alternate account where I am Diamond, but the lobby is a full master lobby, so the gameplay is still fairly high. Let's start off with the carousel. I see a bow on Xayah, and that's immediately what I go for, as this gives me many options. I can play both the Shredder variations with either Rune on Deathblade or Last Whisper Infinity Edge. And as well, the bow, I can use it for a Kale comp, right? Either RFC Rageblade, and Xayah is a great item holder for the Kale. So I've gone through all of stage 2 on a loss streak. I noticed that there were a lot of red buff Lucians, red buff Israels, and just a lot of people with big beefy upgraded boards. I was stuck with a Xayah 2, and that's about it. I went out of the second stage carousel picking up a Rageblade, as I did notice someone had already been picking up Shredder units, and they called, me Shredder. And at this elo, people will not pivot no matter what items they get. So it's better, you do your thing. I'll be the one playing flexible. Now here I had the option to build Infinity Edge. I went for Trap Claw instead because Infinity Edge locks me in more. And Trap Claw is still a great item, can help me preserve HP, but also keeps me flexible. And there you notice that I did go down, drop down from 50 gold. Down to 40 gold to play the Blade Master, because what I want to try to do now is convert that loss streak into a win streak. If we keep blue streaking, and especially if you want to play Kale, it's a really bad idea. So and you see me doing 1-2 rolls there as well, as I really need to start preserving health now and trying to play for a win streak. Now this next shop kind of saves my mid game. Let's take a look here. We come across a lucky Kassadin, right? We've hit our Kassadin 2, and we have an Aurelia in the shop as well, allowing us to upgrade our board significantly, right? We get in Celestial, Blade Master, Mana Reaver. Now we can really push for the win streak. I do a quick scout here. Notice that most players are on the left, so I want to make sure I position my Kassadin there to get maximum value, as well as Shen protecting him right beside him. I move Aurelia back 2 notches because I don't want her being first to take the damage, right? I want my Leona and Kassadin and Shen to take the majority of the damage so they can be the ones ulting first. Now, third stage carousel comes around. I look on my board and I ask myself, what am I lacking? What am I missing? I need damage, right? I have Rageblade, that's just attack speed. I need some damage right now. What's the best damage item in the game? Deathblade. So I grab another sword. We're going to commit the Deathblade on the Xayah. Make sure we're killing units, as that's the easiest way to preserve health. Just kill as many units as we can. And let's take a look at this next shop that comes up as well here. So we're going to be committing the Deathblade, and I noticed the Jhin, right? In most cases, we need to ask ourselves now, is this a bait, right? In this scenario, though, the reason why I pick it up is because I get the win, which puts me at 44 gold, so it costs me absolutely nothing to hold on to it, right? You'll notice I actually don't pick up this Jhin until I get the win. And even if I don't here, I would have sold the Fiora to pick up the Jhin, just to hold on to it, just in case. You never know, right? So we end up getting the win here. I know I'm at 44. It doesn't hurt to hold on to this 4 cost. We go and pick up the first Jhin. And I'm still not like heavily considering a Jhin build, but now that I see a second Jhin, I actually start taking into consideration, okay, can I actually do this? My first thought is, can I pick this up without hurting my econ? Yes, I have enough frontline in the Shen and the Leona. So Vanguards right now, it's a good trait, but it doesn't help me out as much. So I'm going to get rid of my Poppies. I'm going to get rid of my Fiora to pick up this Jhin. And again, I'm just holding on to them. And now I'm starting to consider, I'm asking myself in this, as I'm doing this live, is can I actually go for this, or is this a bait? So I start taking a look first at my items. Do I have items that fit a Darkstar build? Deathblade, yes, that goes on Jhin. Trapclaw, yes, that goes on Jhin. Rageblade, yes, that goes on Xerath. And what about the cloak? The cloak is going to be for Runon. I'm like, okay, so I have almost a perfect item Jhin, and I have 2 copies of it, whereas I have no copies of Kayle. I also scout the lobby and I notice that there's absolutely no Darkstar players. And then I look at my board. I'm like, okay, do I have any units that fit in the Jhin comp? And I noticed the Kassadin right away. I have Kassadin. Kassadin is the Celestial that I play in Darkstars. And then I see the drops that I get, right? 2 Luxes and an Ashe along with the next shop. So I decide, okay, I can definitely go for it, as well as my items, right? I have a Runon. We can definitely do this, but I keep my options open. I don't like fully go out of a Kayle build because I want to do the 4-3 roll down. And you've had these games, I know, where you have like pair Jhin, pair Jinx, and then you roll down on 4-3 and just don't hit another one, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get rid of the Israel. It's not too important in the Kayle comp. I'm going to get rid of the Israel, hold on to the Blitz just in case we end up going for Chrono Kayle, because I want to do my 4-3 roll down to see if we're going to hit 3 Kales before we even hit a Jhin, right? So again, you see me picking up the Blitzcrank, the Israel. I want to keep now those 2 builds open. For Kayle, I have RFC possibility, Rageblade is there, Trapclaw is there. Again, I'm scouting what are people playing, how many Kales are in the pool. Is anyone playing Darkstars? I know for sure no one is playing Darkstars, but I'm still hesitant to fully commit as I want to see what I hit on the 4-3 roll down. Now, I want to talk about this stage a little bit. Stage 4-3, commonly known as the level 8 all-in. But there's something that I'm taking into consideration here is how much gold am I left over after leveling here to roll with? And I take into consideration, what do I need to get this full build online? I still need Shaco's, Mordekaiser, a Lux, an Ashe, 3 Karmas, possibly Jarvans if I can find them, and a Jhin, right? Or the full Kayle build, right? 3 Kales, I have the Shen already. Maybe finish off the Aurelia, the Israel, the Blitzcranks, either go the 4 Chrono or other variations with Jinx, whatever. But because I noticed that I don't have a lot of gold, I decide to take a look at my health. Do I have the health to allow me to push level 8 maybe a little bit later? And I do. I'm quite healthy at 68. At this point, I no longer care for the win streak because I'm already at 50 gold. I'm getting maximum interest. So I decide to go level 8 at a later stage where I can have more gold to roll with at level 8. Right, and I want to pause here because I want to talk about something, and I want to pause it at the carousel too because that's something important to talk about as well. Okay, so a great example that I want to bring up is Polt, the rank 1 player, where he played the game without any stigmas, right? Without none of these stigmas of, oh, you always go 8 on 4-3, oh, you never roll at 7, oh, you always have to hyper roll if you have this or that. He just played the game how he felt like what needed to be done had to be done. If his board is weak, he rolled. If he was getting low health, he rolled. If his economy was bad, he saved. He just did what he had to do during every single stage of the game without these stigmas locked in his head. And so that's something you can start experimenting with yourself. You don't always need to go by like these preset rules that like have been told to us. Just play off of what feels right? Is your board weak? Do you have pairs? Can you roll to hit those pairs? Are you super healthy? Can you sit on a few rounds before leveling, etc., etc.? Now let's take a look at this carousel. Okay, so this carousel, I'm trying to keep in mind both builds, right? What item can I take that can possibly support both builds? I see, okay, I have a Runon already. What would I build next? My end game comp for Dark Stars would be Xerath, right? Xerath is the carry. That's how I would play for first place. What does Xerath need? He needs Rageblade. I have that, and then he needs QSS. Okay, if I want QSS, I need a glove. Okay, let's think about Kale. I have possible RFC. I have, you know, the Rageblade, the Trap Claw for it, Deathblade grade. What's my win condition in Kale? Outside of the Kale, next it would be Misfortune. What does Misfortune need? She needs Seraphs, she needs QSS. I decide, okay, that's a common factor, the QSS. So I'm going to look to pick up a glove here. And that's what we end up getting. I believe I saw 2 gloves. Let's take a look here as I'm looking at my board. Okay, there's the other glove was taken, so there's 1 glove left, so we go that to keep us flexible between the 2 builds. Now here comes the roll down, and I want to take you through this step by step. Okay, first of all, this is what's normally known as a bad interval to level, because I have to spend an extra gold to go to level 8. But this time I actually do take into consideration my win streak. I'm only 2 rounds away from the creep round. So if I can preserve this win streak for just 2 rounds, it's going to be worth the 1 extra gold I'm the extra gold I'm spending on this stage rather than the next one. So you'll see what I mean here. I level up and it pushes me 2 XP over than I need to be, right? Now let's pause here. So I picked up, we'll go back a frame. So there's an Israel, and the reason why I don't pick this up is because I'm not committed to the kill build, right? And I don't need to worry about, oh, if I never get another Israel. No, it's not that important if I have an Israel 2 or not. And with this amount of gold, if we do get the kill, we should be able to hit the Israel. Anyways, it's not a big deal, so I pass by it. Now this next shop is where I fully commit. I can fully make the commitment, right? When you hit the 5 cost of Xerath, I take into consideration, okay, I have 0 kills, right? Yes, sure, I have the Shen and I can maybe have the Blitz Israel going in there, but I have no Wukongs either. So going into 4 Chrono is going to be hard. I don't want to really use a Caitlyn for that. And something else now that I want to discuss is you do want to eventually make a hard commit, right? Try not to, because yeah, you can technically pick up Xerath Deluxe and still keep this as an option, like just in case. But at some point, around usually 4-3, like 4-3, 4-4, you really want to make a commitment to 1 build if you were going between the 2. And here's why, okay? When you're picking up units for multiple builds and you start doing the roll down, what if like it was a kill instead? And now I start holding a kill, I have the Jins, I'm starting to run out of bench space, I roll the next roll, it's a Mordekaiser, I'm running out of bench space, I'm trying to juggle between the 2. Rather than trying to roll down, you know, through 40 gold, keeping both options open, I would advise that whichever one you're leaning closer towards, pick that build, sell the rest, and just tunnel on that comp when you have a lot of gold to spend. The reason being is that you're going to start taking a lot of damage if you don't do these transitions quickly, especially starting after stage 4 carousel. You know, people roll down on 4-3 usually, they're starting to get strong, they're putting their boards together. If you're still trying to figure out what to put in, what to manage on your bench space, and you see this from top players too, right? They're really good, but sometimes they get stuck. Do I pick this? Do I pick that? And they end up taking 20 damage in the round. Pick a build, roll down your gold, go for it. Okay, so we've made the full commitment to Dark Stars. We can go ahead and slowly putting those in. I do want to get the Rageblade onto the Xerath, and what I'm thinking here is we're just going to do the double Rageblade. Now here's something that I thought of, right? I had Runon, Okay, I had the option of making rune on the Jhin, but I take a look at my board and what's currently strong, right? I want to keep this win streak. Would it be putting the rune on my Jhin 1, or would it be putting QSS on my Xerath 1? It's obviously going to be the Xerath. It's the stronger unit, so I do decide to make the QSS over the Runon, as well as if I'm playing, you know, for that first place, my win condition is Xerath 2 with perfect items. What are perfect items for Xerath? A Rage Blade and a QSS. I want to make sure I have both of those. Now here comes another important decision. Most of you might look at this, I'm in first place, 66 gold. Whoa, you're going level 9. You're going level 9 at this stage 10 win streak. You're nuts. But if we take a look at my board, there's no way this board can get me to level 9. I would be taking 20 damage a turn going into stage 5 if I stayed on this board. Also, we need to consider, what am I missing? I still need a Karma 2. I still need a Shaco 2. I still need this Ashe. There's too many, Jhin 2 Mordekaiser. There's too many things I need to before I can go level 9. So if I can spend all that gold to go level 9 while I'm still missing so many units, just isn't the play. So that's why we make the decision we need to roll at 8. We need to finish our build, get strong at level 8, and then we can think about level 9. So we've upgraded our Ashe, we've got our Karma 2, we're starting to slowly make our strongest board. And now, again, we still need to think, like, is this strong enough? But I know without a Jhin 2, without at least a Jhin 2, we still cannot go level 9. So again, I make the decision that I can't stop rolling until I hit the Jhin 2. So I finally end up hitting my Jhin 2, as you can see coming up here shortly. And this is where I can finally say, okay, I'm strong enough. I can start pushing for level 9. Now, if I want to hit level 9 from 48 HP, I need to start making maximum economy. So yes, Thresh is a unit that I could play at level 9, but I do decide to get rid of them, the Thresh pair, and just hold it onto Lulu pair to get that maximum economy going so that I can actually hit level 9 this game before dying off. And Thresh 1, Thresh 2 isn't that big a difference. Plus, it's not the end of the world if I'm not playing Thresh at level 9. I can play another Jhin. I can play just the Lulu. And I do want to make a quick point on Kassadin versus Lulu. I think Kassadin 2 is such an insane unit right now that I wouldn't merit playing a Lulu 1 over a Kassadin 2. I would only make the swap once I've hit Lulu 2. So I make the push for level 9 on stage 6, and I do decide to go with the Vanguard synergy. As you'll notice, the weakness of Dark Stars is they don't have much frontline, right? It's Mordekaiser and Kassadin, and if you have a Lux 2, you can definitely put that up front. So I do want to add in a little bit more beefiness just to buy me time for my Xerath to go off, and for my Jhin to get as many 4th shots off as possible. What you'll notice me do though is not roll down. I level, just add in the Vanguard synergy because I know that at 48 HP I have about 3 lives, and so I can definitely tank like 1 round for sure. And I know at 30 gold I'm not likely to hit both Xerath 2 and Lulu 2, and I really want to cap out making sure I have both of those, the Lulu 2 and the Xerath 2. So with good health management, we have hard capped with the Lulu 2 and the Xerath 2. Grab a Guardian Angel, throw that on my Jhin as he doesn't have a 3rd item yet. And from here on out, it's basically smooth sailing. I know this wasn't a full build guide. I do just want to say thank you for making it all the way up to this point of the video. What I do want to ask from you though is what particular guide do you want to see from me next? I want you to put that down in the comments. Let me know what detailed guide you want me to come out with, and subscribe so you know exactly when that video goes live. For now, let's just enjoy this last fight, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. It's a first.